built into CMaps Analytics is the ability to filter data on the fly. So in this case, what are my top 10 performers? What are my bottom 10 performers? And let's let the map do the heavy lifting for us. If I back out of this and we go back here, how is Orange County performing? Unless if you are from California or you're familiar with the California landscape, how do you answer that question with the maps tools that you have? Well, so obviously that's where search comes into play and becomes important, or our filtering capabilities. So I can type in orange, and the map will constrain that information, zoom us into Orange County, and now I can drill in further. And so when we do that, now we're presented with a menu of options where we can either further filter by the data, or we can explore the data using the map itself, using geography, because that's part of the value of a map. If all I needed to do was filter and search data to my top 10, I don't really need a map for that. Where the map adds value is now I have an interactive mechanism for zooming or panning and using geography and location to drive my analysis. So if I want to explore my data by moving the map around, CMaps Analytics will automatically output the results or output what you're looking at in the viewport so that you can visualize it in other ways. So let's say that we want to focus in on this area, either because we've found something, either an alert, or we've said, hey, let's search for an address or a zip code that I know I'm going to be in as a sales or as a district manager. And let's say this is where I want to focus my energy. Now, the big question is, what is required to use all this functionality? How do I actually leverage something like this in my own app, in my commercial app, in a mobile app, or even inside of a portal like SharePoint or Business Objects? So that's really where CMaps Analytics Designer comes in. And so this is actually what CMaps Analytics Designer looks like. We could start with a blank canvas. We can open up a previous template or project, or I could start with one of our pre-built templates that are used really to illustrate how to build different experiences that you can then reverse engineer and replace with your own data. So this template is the basis for the demonstration, where we have multiple layers. We have our California by counties, which comes out of the box. You can pretty much get any country in the world by state, any state in California by county or zip, and it just works out of the box. We also have a points layer here. We could easily add any number of additional layers, which we'll talk about in a moment. But the great thing about CMaps Analytics Designer is you're using this nice codeless property sheet to set up things like drilling. If you go to the appearance, you have complete control to change the behavior and experience for an end user. And if I check this box called Advanced Info Window Options, that's really all I need to do to create all the advanced analysis right out of the box. Now I can save this to my desk. I open it inside of an HTML file. I get my maps view, in this case with some sample data, and I get this additional advanced info window. So when I open that, I get all of the functionality that I showed you prior right out of the box. So if I wanted to start filtering or perform the same kind of search for Orange County, actually I can just type in orange, hit apply, I've got a little bit more space to view Orange County, and I can use all the functionality that I showed you in my demo without writing any code or scripting or having to jump through any hoops to create this rich end user experience. Now obviously you have complete control to turn on or off various capabilities based on your business application needs. So we want to provide you with all of the functionality that you may need depending on the types of applications that you're building, and just make it work out of the box. And that's really our role at CMaps Analytics, to provide a rich experience that I used early in my presentation. I used the term experience for engaging and interacting with location, proximity, and distance as it relates to business intelligence.